Ties between India and Italy, and indeed the European Union as a whole, are being threatened by a new twist to the tale of Italian Marines facing criminal proceedings in India for the killing of 2 fishermen off the Kerala coast in February 2012. With the Supreme Court due to decide next week on whether to try the case under a stringent anti-piracy and anti-terror law, Italy has reacted with outrage, even though shifting the charges addresses a previous Italian concern and takes the possibility of a death penalty for the 2 men off the table. I spoke earlier to Italy's special envoy on the Marines issue, Staffan Di Mistura, in Delhi to negotiate their return to Rome with the government. He's called the idea of charging military men under such a law totally unacceptable.
An incident took place, no question. 2 Indian fishermen unfortunately died, and that's very sad. But using anti-terrorist law, that would be equating Italy to a terrorist country, and the 2 Italian military who were appointed to fight terrorism or prevent it to become considered under a terrorist law. That makes it clearly outrageously difficult for anyone to accept. Secondly, the anti-terrorist law is actually putting the burden on who is accused, which makes a very difficult case for anyone to actually defend itself unless it's a terrorist. That is the reason why in Italy, and not only in Italy, you saw it in Europe, there was a feeling of outrage, of surprise, of shock.
So let me try and understand this. Until this time, the fact that they are being tried and going through the legal process has obviously been an objection, but more so because with 302 and the murder charges, death penalty was something which was on the table, and Italy had strong views on the death penalty itself, which is why there has been this objection. India now says that this is a way to take that death penalty off the table. So both options seem unacceptable in a sense as far as Italy is concerned, and evoking this kind of outrage. So what's the answer?
Well, first of all, let's qualify this. The SUA Act is unacceptable from the reasons I just told you, and I'm sure India would find it equally unacceptable if it was applied to its own Indian military in a similar incident. But trying to find a solution by taking away the death penalty and leaving the SUA Act, i.e. the law anti-terrorism, to be used on that is still unacceptable, and it's not enough to provide that as a little offer by saying, don't worry, there is not going to be a death penalty, and then hoping that Italy would simply then accept an anti-terrorist law to be used against its own 2 military. A year ago, we had anyway firm assurances from the foreign minister through the not verbal, death penalty would not be used. And what is left is using an anti-terrorist law to judge 2 Italian military, European military in international waters on an incident.
So in your consultations and conversations with New Delhi, what is the solution you all are